After the major bearish divergence I have called, Bitcoin came down to $94,000 and on today's update video I want to be discussing what the next major support is for Bitcoin, why we saw this massive rejection in the price action of Bitcoin, and what we are heading towards next right now here. So I'm going to be discussing the most important charts and patterns, including the fact what is exactly happening right now, why are we dumping. I'm going to be all discussing it in today's update video. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again watch this video till the end, because this video is packed with information. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap up that like button. Back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. And for the ones that have been following my daily technical analysis videos, you do know that I have been a little bit more bearish on Bitcoin lately, since we were creating this bearish divergence on the 12-hour time frame, on the daily time frame. And this is really something I have been learning from my years and years of experience of trading Bitcoin and seeing these market developments. And yes, like we exactly predicted, Bitcoin did came down ever so slightly. Yesterday I also said maybe the dump is already over, but we can still come down a little bit more. That is exactly what happened. And now I am actually starting to think that the bottom of this slight little correction that we have seen is likely in here. And let me explain why it is likely in here. And that is of course due to the fact that this is a major level of previous resistance, now is likely getting flipped into support. And more importantly, what we are currently clearly seeing is basically a major rejection from off that $100,000 level. That is the main reason why Bitcoin came down here. Literally what happened, there are massive amounts of sell orders laying around that $100,000 level, and that is just currently getting sentimented. And yes, what we also have seen is that indeed Jim Crater literally flipped bullish on Bitcoin. He said you need to be buying Bitcoin at the exact all-time high here. So maybe that has also been one of the reasons why we are coming down right now ever so slightly. But if I'm rightly looking at Bitcoin next year, what are we going to be doing next in this consolidation phase? It is likely a new pattern. We're likely creating a new pattern with an upper sloping support line. And straight away we can see, of course, that previous resistance level right here that likely is going to be flipping into somewhat of a support for Bitcoin. If we break below this level right here, then I really think we're going to be seeing a continuation downwards. And if we break the dotted line here, or the stripe line I should say, likely the next support for Bitcoin is going to be at the lower side of this region, which is laying around 86 to 87,000 US dollars. But if we do not retest that level, we're just looking at the symmetrical triangle which we're currently creating, with downward sloping resistance lines on the top side and upward sloping support lines on that lower side right now here. So very excited what we're currently seeing, and to be honest, we're just looking at a new consolidation phase here. And what is very interesting to see right now here is that indeed we're creating on the 4-hourly time frame an upward sloping support line, while in fact the RSI is still trending lower. And this basically means that we are creating some hidden bullish divergences, while in fact I have indeed stated that we were creating a bearish divergence, and most people didn't really like to hear me saying that. But of course I just say what I think is going to be happening, and that is also exactly what played out, right? So please just listen up what I have to say right now here. So while indeed momentum was getting lost here on the top side while we were creeping up to a new high, we are now seeing actually that indeed Bitcoin is coming down again here, but actually compared to the previous low here, momentum is still gaining. So indeed we're forming a higher low, and momentum is still stronger than the previous rally right here. So what we're basically seeing is that indeed right now the RSI, basically the momentum, is lower, but the price action is higher, and that means basically that we're creating a hidden bullish divergence. These are patterns we often tend to create. These are not the strongest patterns, because personally, from my experience, what I really experience is that whenever we create a regular bearish divergence like we did on the top side right here, we tend to see a stronger reaction. And if we create a regular bullish divergence, also we tend to create a stronger reaction. But that is of course not currently what is playing out in the market. But anyways, what we're also seeing that yesterday we had a minus 438 million US dollars from that spot Bitcoin ETF, while BlackRock still managed to buy 260 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin, Bitwise and ARK. So yeah, they've been selling off here while BlackRock is still accumulating. Of course, we have seen several times that we have some negative days on the spot Bitcoin ETF. It isn't all too bad here, considering the fact that still we are plus 30 billion US dollars in that first year all alone here. Then looking at Bitcoin, and probably the reason why we are potentially dumping is maybe due to Black Friday, because if we're looking at every Black Friday from 2019 onwards, we've actually seen that Bitcoin has always gone down during Black Friday. Is that the reason because people are cashing out? They just want to be buying some stuff? Or is there a different reason for it? But one thing is for certain, always during Black Friday, we tend to see very negative price action for Bitcoin. And this could be maybe one of the reasons why we are indeed once again coming down right now as well. Then in general, I want to be pointing out that just in the last bull market cycle, in November 2020, we also saw that November was more of a consolidation month. And then after that, in December, we had a more stronger period in the market. And something similar could be happening for Bitcoin, and it wouldn't necessarily be all too bearish. Then here also on the bigger perspective, basically what we're looking at is a major breakout that is about to be happening on altcoins. And also, yeah, really what I'm looking at right now here is that we're seeing a major increasement in short-term holders in the market. And we've seen that in the previous rally towards the upside as well. And just like we see in bear markets, a major decreasement in short-term holders, we're now seeing a major increasement in that, showing and indicating that retail interest is most certainly returning in the market right now. And if you right now want to be benefiting from that retail interest, guys, there's a good opportunity to take some massive trades on not only Bitcoin, but also a lot of other altcoins. Because if you right now want to be trading, the best exchange to do so is Blofin. And Blofin is an exchange without any KYC. And if you right now sign up with the account using that highest link description of today's video, you can get a $10,000 deposit bonus on top of that. And on this exchange, guys, you can trade literally any altcoin you just can think about. And if there's a new altcoin hype coming up, they're one of the fastest ones listing it. And that way you are not extra liquidity, but you can still benefit from the major volatility it is about to get created. So if you really want to be making money with trading, the best exchange to do so is definitely Blofin. So check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, what I'm really looking at is that indeed altcoin season is likely to start any moment right now here. I mean, in terms of timing, this is one of the worst periods to be fading altcoins. And if we're just going to be looking at the new money flow, most likely meme coins are going to be doing extraordinary this cycle because, yeah, so far they've been one of the top performers. But I personally believe that in this cycle, meme coins and AI coins are going to be those coins that you want to be holding in your portfolio. Further on, what we're looking at right now here is basically also this signal right here. In the previous cycle, it took us 1400 days here from top to top before the next altcoin season to get started. And now we're also 1400 days in. So according to history, altcoin season should be starting anywhere about now here. We can see that, of course, the search interest is definitely picking up again here. We're seeing major breakouts across many altcoin charts. The Bitcoin dominance chart as well, creating a major rising wedge pattern. And yeah, just in terms of timing, it makes a lot of sense to see altcoin season getting started right here. Bitcoin dominance has been recently declining ever so slightly, and altcoin dominance has been climbing up. That is a great development. And honestly, I do think this trend is going to be continuing in the upcoming period in this market. So yeah, very excited. And if I'm looking at the Ethereum price action right now as well, we can start to see that we're breaking the downward sloping resistance line, and that could potentially spell a major breakout further higher for the market. And in general for Bitcoin as well, I want to be pointing out that indeed I'm expecting a way bigger breakout. But just like I said in many videos before, we can from time to time have some corrections because no move goes up in a straight line. We always see some consolidation / rejections along the way up here. So yeah, this bull flag pattern for Bitcoin has got a price target around $120,000. But for that price target to be reached, it is going to be taking ever so slightly longer. So this was it for me in today's update video. If you did learn something from it, don't forget to smash that like button on today's update video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.